Bienvenidos al Abierto de Cali. I'm Laura McCormick with the WRT, and this is the first time the World Racquetball Tour is in Cali, Colombia for an event. We're thrilled to be here, and we have the top 8 WRT players with us here this weekend. Can Jake Bredenbeck win back-to-back titles? Will Polo Gutierrez remain #1, or will there be a new champion here this weekend? Anything can happen here on the WRT, so let's get these matches started.
And here we are in our first semifinal match of the evening. We have Alex Cardona versus Jake Bredenbeck. And of course, I'm Laura McCormick with the WRT, and joining me on tonight's broadcast is WRT player Jaime Martel. Welcome, Jaime.
Thanks, Laura.
So this evening we have Cardona and Bredenbeck, #2 and #3 here on the tour. Bredenbeck in a breaker against Ugalde here tonight. Earlier today in the quarterfinals, that's what sent him through to the semifinals, and Cardona defeating Martel. So, Martel, having played on this courts all weekend and against Cardona, what are your predictions here in this semifinal match?
After the tournament in Minneapolis, I don't really what happens here. I don't know, it's a really tough match. Cardona always starts so good, but I think the last match, Jake is refocused and wins the best match.
Yeah, Bredenbeck winning last weekend at the Midwest Championships with an opportunity here to win back-to-back titles. But interestingly enough, he's nursing a little bit of an injury, so that might give Cardona a bit of an edge against him here today.
0-0.
Looks like Cardona's going to start off serving. This is game 1 of our semifinal match.
Punto.
First point for Cardona. Something interesting to note, we are at an indoor-outdoor facility, so there's kind of a lot of dust floating around. And I don't know if it's coming out on camera, but when the ball hits that front wall, you can actually see a little cloud of dust coming off the ball. Nice rally in game 1 so far to open the match. And Bredenbeck winning the rally. Quick side out answered back from Cardona. I think one thing that's going to be key for both of these players is to keep each other moving. Two of the more powerful players here on the WRT.
A lot of power in this match.
Yeah.
Second serve.
Side out.
Nice side out for Bredenbeck.
0.
These two stuck in a bit of a battle of
0-1.
serve inside out, opening up our semi-final match this evening.
1-0. Second serve. Point.
All right, and finally some movement here on the board. A point for Cardona.
2-0.
Nice serve by Cardona.
3-0. Second serve.
The last time these two matched up was actually
0-3.
last weekend in the semifinals at the Midwest Championships. Bredenbeck defeating Cardona to push
Side
her
out.
through to the finals. What do you think, Jaime? You think this will go breaker anyway?
Definitely is going to be a tiebreaker at this match. Well, I talked with Cardona so early today, and he knows the mistake for play a tiebreaker against Jake, because he said that, oh, I'm have a good start, but I'll be a little tired in second, so I'm trying to finish the tiebreaker, but Jake is totally refocused and wins the match.
4-0.
All right, Cardona coming out strong here so far in game one, but it's still very early to say he could be comfortable.
Keep going.
Thought I saw that skip. Easy side out there for Cardona.
4-0.
Nice serve from Cardona. There's an ace.
5-0.
Now Cardona has 3 titles here with the WRT. Most recently at the San Diego Open in January. Before that at the Alamo City Open in December. And before that, 2013 in San Diego. Meanwhile, Bredenbeck has 2 titles with the WRT, both from 2015 at the Sonora Open in January and just last week at the Midwest Championship. So
His hometown.
yeah, 2 champions here looking for another title this weekend. All right, we got a new ball now. Here we go. unforced error from Cardona gives Bredenbeck the side out.
0-5.
And Bredenbeck gets his first point here in game 1. Bredenbeck with a couple points here in a
3-5.
row. Bringing it to 3-5. It's amazing how fast the tempo can change and the momentum, and now Bredenbeck's within 1 point of tying up game 1.
Another mistake of Cardona.
5-5.
And an ace for Bredenbeck. Yeah, I think right now it's really, I mean, obviously Jake's playing well, but Cardona also kind of against himself right now with some unforced errors. Looks like Cardona's going to take a timeout. We're going to hear a word from our sponsors right after this. Back live here in game 1 of our first semifinal match of the evening at the Cali Open, live from Colombia.
Point.
I'm totally agree with Cardona. That's a short serve.
You thought it was a short serve? Now Bredenbeck just coming back and dominating
9-5
here since he got back into the possession of the serve.
This game looks more smart than the other tournaments, Jake's game.
5-9.
All right, Cardona now down by 4. That changed pretty quickly.
6-9.
And the players were talking about how this court is faster. Did you find that to be the case as well, Jaime?
I know very well today in my match this morning, but
also battling the heat and fatigue here in it's about
9-6.
81 degrees here with a lot of humidity, and staying hydrated is really important all weekend long, but it's also kind of taking a mental toll on some players. Side out for Cardona. Wild serve.
7-9. Second serve.
Ooh. Cardona busting out the aces here in game one.
Ooh.
It's about 3 aces here since Cardona stepped back in the box.
Second serve.
An unforced error from
Side out.
Cardona is going to break that serving streak. Really seeing the momentum change here. It's all about the serves for Cardona and Bredenbeck. It's all tied up here in game one. 9 serving 9. We've seen some amazing
Second
serves
serve.
from both players. Bredenbeck will get a second serve here.
Bounces.
So far, a very evenly matched game one. This is what we want to see in the semifinals. Tight competition.
Nice job.
Cardona's slipping a little bit out there on the floor, but getting back up and winning that rally. Jake getting pinned there in the corner a little bit. Great rally.
9-9.
Still tied at 9-9.
Second serve. Point.
All right, and Cardona moving the score along here with the first point in countless
out.
side outs. I think Jake's gonna grab a new glove here.
10-9.
So, Jaime, how's your experience been so far here at the Cali Open?
That's a really good, but of course it's so hot. It's a pretty amazing. I have a couple years there and don't be here. Really, all the people so good. The course are really, really good. I love it to be stay here today.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful experience so far here for the WRT. Great people. I guess great weather. From what I understand, it doesn't get any cooler here.
No,
It's always hot
I
here
think
in
that I
Cali.
lost a lot of pounds in this game.
Yeah. Lots of sweat. Players leaving it all out there in every match. Those of you watching at home, you can stay up to date with all the action on the WRT on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at World R-Ball Tour. Or you go to our YouTube page and check out past
10-9.
events and videos at youtube.com/World Racquetball. All right, Cardona now up by 1. Jake with a new glove. See what happens in game one. best racquetball out there right now.
Ten, 9. Second serve.
Second serve, Cardona. Amazing shot by Cardona.
11, 9.
Cardona now with an advantage. Up by 2. Now Cardona hitting 13, which I feel like is somewhat a
12,
magic
9.
number here in racquetball. 2 away from potentially closing out game 1. Excuse me, the score is 12. Wouldn't be the first time I misheard the ref today.
Second serve.
No.
Wow, tough rally there. Jake chasing it all around the
13,
court there.
9.
Almost running into Cardona. And now it's 13-9.
Fourteen, 9.
Jake getting pretty upset out there. Game point here for Cardona in game 1. A chance to close it out. Short serve. Oh, side out, had Jake climbing the walls here.
9,
Here's-
I'm
14.
watching a volleyball. I don't know why Cardona hits the ball. Good ball, Jake.
This will be second game
14-9.
point here for Cardona in game 1. Taking his time in the service box as usual, collecting his mental focus. Bredenbeck answers
9,
back,
14.
stepping back into the service box. Cardona's chance to close out, slipping away. And there's a point for Bredenbeck, helping him move up here. 10, serving 14.
10, 14.
Jake not in agreement with the ref's call, but it's going to
14,
be
10.
third game point now for Cardona.
Second
Short
serve.
And a rare outburst from Cardona. Pretty frustrated after 3 opportunities here for game point.
He's not looks comfortable with his backhand.
14-10.
Now, I think this is the kind of thing you don't want to do here in game 1, stretching out this game point for Cardona, just prolonging it and taking away some of the energy that could be used going into game 2. Cardona's 4th game point here.
Short serve.
Preserving energy is pretty important in the conditions that we're playing in here in Colombia.
More here. This game by Cardona.
There we go. Cardona taking game 1, 15-10. We'll be right back with game 2. There's lots more racquetball, so don't go anywhere. And we're back live in game 2. Bredenbeck ready to fire away. Game 1 went to Cardona 15-10 with 4 opportunities to close out the game. Jake holding on, trying to take some of that momentum here into game 2.
Smart shot by Jake.
And there's his first point.
2-0.
Some powerful hitting here on the WRTs. 2 of our more powerful players between Cardona and Bredenbeck here tonight.
I think these 2 guys is the more powerful players of the team. I don't know if we have another one, but I think it's
I think it's definitely these top 2.
kick ball.
All right, and there's the first point for Cardona.
1-2.
Nice shot by Cardona.
Some seriously fast-moving balls and hard hitting here, tying it up at 2-2.
2-2.
Cardona needs to start to be more smarter than Jake, because Jake's waiting all the shot from Cardona, then stay move all the court.
So 2 bounces on Cardona.
Late call by referee.
Yeah, Cardona looking a little surprised by the call.
Nice shot.
2-2.
All tied up in game 2.
Short serve.
shot by Bredenbeck right down the line. We've been talking about the uniqueness of the glass wall
2-2.
here because we have the indoor-outdoor situation. So the light changes depending on the crowd sitting there. That has an effect on following the ball into that corner.
Now it's play at night. It's better play at night than when you play at the day because the sun is always in the court, so you can see nothing.
Yeah, a lot of glare, a lot of light coming in.
Nice shot.
Interesting how a softer shot seems to work when you have the two power players swinging away.
2-2.
Got to switch up the strategy a little bit. This guy's still holding at 2-2 in game 2.
2-2.
With looks Jake with a little pain in his shoulder, I think so.
Yeah, he was talking about that earlier, kind of nursing his shoulder a little bit. We saw him in the quarterfinals switching up with a backhand serve, but so far against Cardona, continuously drive serving or a lob serving. And an error from Cardona is going to give Jake the advantage here.
3-2.
Oh, nice rally of these two guys.
Yeah, both of them kind of camped out in the middle a little bit there, but you saw some strategy from Cardona. And he wins the rally. Both Jake and Alex are Gearbox sponsored players, playing with the Gearbox racket. And of course, the official ball of the WRT, the Gearbox ball.
Point.
Point for Bredenbeck. If you guys want to check out more products from Gearbox, go to gearboxrb.com. Nice shot down the line
5-2.
from Bredenbeck in that glass meets glass corner.
Smart
repeat.
shot by
Point.
Jake.
Yeah, it's working for him.
6-2.
Bredenbeck now up by 4.
Two six.
Short serve.
Wow, big rally in game 2. And Cardona's going to take a timeout after that one. We're going to hear from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we're back in game 2 where Bredenbeck has taken some control. Of course, I'm Laura McCormick with the WRT, and the WRT pro joining me today is Jaime Martel.
Thanks, Laura.
He faced off against Cardona earlier today, and now Bredenbeck is making his way back here in game 2. Any advice you want to throw out there for Cardona? What do you think he needs to do against Bredenbeck right now?
Well,
Six,
he needs to stay,
soft
start to move more, Jake, because both play in the middle of the court.
Yeah.
So the guy who do the correct shot that with not so much power is gonna win. Like this.
Keep your opponent moving. That's going to be the key
Sign
here
two.
in game
Yeah,
2.
because he knows the game of his opponent a lot. They have played a lot of times. I think Jake plays more smarter now. He don't need to
8-2.
use a lot of his power in his forehand, and it's working.
Touch. Nice shot from Cardona. Another big rally in game 2.
2-8.
See if Cardona can start making his way back 1 point at a time.
Good serve by Cardona.
Three eight.
And a side out for Bredenbeck.
8-3.
You know, one thing we're also seeing from Bredenbeck is him stepping directly into the service box and firing off the serve right away. That's how he started game 2. He's trying to keep the momentum moving and keep Cardona on his toes, whereas Cardona doesn't ever really break his routine of his serving ritual. And that helps him stay mentally focused.
Refocus on and think what he needs to do in the middle of at the next point. It works
8-3.
for him a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of a signature Cardona move now.
Now to force the error, Cardona.
9-3.
Two in a row.
10-3.
Yeah, I really think we're seeing Bredenbeck controlling the tempo and speeding up the game. Look
11-3.
how fast he is to get that serve off.
Nice shot by Alex.
3-8.
Short serve.
Four 11.
All right, and a point for Cardona. Let's see if we can keep Bredenbeck moving and get a couple more points. It's tough.
Oh. pretty frustrated, Cardona, in this moment. He's down so
11,
bad
4.
in this second game.
Just out of reach for Cardona. There's a point for
12,
Bredenbeck.
4.
Bredenbeck keeps moving like this. We're going a breaker. Right, there's a side out.
Four, 12.
Side out for Bredenbeck.
12, 4.
All that I need, that's what I need to do. That think more his
4,
shots.
12.
Don't try to hit so hard all the shots that he can.
Trying to keep his mental focus out there as he's battling the number 2 seed here on the Cali Open and battling the heat.
Ooh, good shot by Cardona.
Big rally, big shot,
5, 12.
and a point for Cardona. Looks like Bredenbeck's going to take a timeout, and so are we. We'll be right back.
Thumbs up.
Nice shot by Alex.
All right, well, maybe the shirt change was all he needed to change some focus
7,
here
12.
in game 2.
In case that all the people watching don't know, it's pretty hard to breathing inside of these courts.
Hard to breathe.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult when you play a long rally. Keep breathing and all that. It's pretty difficult.
Yeah, the air is really thick. It's tough to stay hydrated here this weekend.
12, 7.
Bredenbeck leading here in game 2. Wow, great rally. Cardona diving all over the floor. Bredenbeck
13,
pretty comfortable
7.
in the center of the court. And that's the key here between these two players. Staying in the center of the court and not having to wear yourself out by diving all over the floor. All right, we got a wet floor. I think they're gonna run out and grab the dry mop to mop that up. We've been talking about the heat here in Cali. Tough to stay cool and stay hydrated. But another quite impressive thing, I would say, would be the bugs. Mosquitoes are nipping away at our ankles here as we speak.
It's like to be staying in the jungle.
13, 7.
All right, these guys are ready to continue game 2.
But it's cool. Yeah, it's really I really like this club because we always we stay inside
7,
indoor
13.
gyms and all, and this is totally different.
Yeah,
Very cool
different crowd, different location.
and different country.
Yeah. second.
Thirteen, 7.
Down.
14, 7.
All right, this is the first game point for Bredenbeck in game 2. If he can pull this one off, we're definitely going to a tiebreaker.
Side out.
Side out there for Cardona. I saw last week Jake had some trouble closing out matches. Actually, in your quarterfinal, you came back from a 5-14 deficit in the first game of the quarterfinals. He also had some trouble in the semis, and Cardona had some trouble here in game 1 closing out, so anything can happen in game 2.
Nice shot by Alex.
And there's a point.
8, 14.
All right, 2 points in a row for Cardona.
9, 14.
It's crazy how anything can happen. We saw that in game 1, Cardona in the lead, Bredenbeck taking it back. These two have been battling the lead here all match.
Now I'm asking you, what is your prediction?
My prediction,
Broken
I hate
ball.
giving straight answers like that. You know, I'm not sure. I think Cardona could come back and win this right here. I think he also has an opportunity to win it in breaker. That's what I'll say, but anything can happen.
Nine, 14.
There we go, another point for Cardona.
Cardona is in a
10,
row now.
14.
That's going to be 11 for Cardona, excuse me.
11, 14.
It's another Cardona in his game now.
I mean,
12,
this is how
14.
many points in a row here from Cardona,
Yeah,
stepping back into the box.
it's definitely a comeback.
I think it's all in that shirt change at his timeout.
Jake needs a timeout for sure, definitely. But
Yeah, he's not really one to take a timeout. You'd think he'd want to break a bit of the momentum, but it's hard to break Cardona's focus.
well,
There it
I'm
is.
told like a player now when you be outside and you say
12.
that like something like, oh, you need a timeout, that, but you be inside of the court, you don't know what to do. Like,
Totally
okay, I need a timeout. Oh, okay, I need another point. Well, that's okay. I'm gonna play another point, and You continue and continue, and that's definitely what Jake needed.
All right, well, that was game point for Jake, meaning he wins game 2 15-12. That's going to send us through to a tiebreaker. So we'll be right back with more of Cardona and Bredenbeck. Just short there of hitting the front wall. There's the side out for Bredenbeck.
0-0.
Forced ball by Cardona.
1-0.
First point goes to Bredenbeck.
Another point by Jake.
2 in a row for Bredenbeck.
2-0.
Starting off strong here in game 3. Side out for Cardona.
0-2.
Short serve.
We've seen some great serving tonight from both
Second
Cardona
serve.
and Bredenbeck. Big return from Bredenbeck.
Opportunity by Cardona. Nice shot.
Seizing the opportunity there.
0-2.
Cardona collecting his mental game there at the front of the court. Big return from Bredenbeck. These two players are friends off the
2-0.
court, but obviously, as we see here tonight, fierce competitors on the court.
Replay.
2-0. Three zero.
Nice selection
0-3.
there from Cardona. Here's his opportunity to get some points. We've seen this from him in game 1 and game 2. He could take a couple points right here if he wanted to.
So quick. Cardona, I really think Cardona needs to change his serve. Because, like that.
Yeah, jamming Jake Bredenbeck. Jake Bredenbeck is the USA Racquetball Male
1-3.
Athlete of the Year. He's had a pretty outstanding 2015 so far with 2 WRT championships. And he is a member of the USA national team.
That's what Cardona needs to do.
2-3.
Yeah, keep the ball out of the middle. Jake's Way too comfortable. Both players are hitting right from the middle. Keep it moving. Maybe use some of the heat and exhaustion to your advantage.
Again, these two guys plays at the middle of the court, so
3-2. Four, 2.
All right, Bredenbeck moving the score along.
Skip ball by Jake.
All right, Cardona looks like he was thankful for this opportunity here to serve.
Two, 4.
See if he can catch up to Jake's 4.
Ooh, ace there by Cardona.
Another ace is going to put him within
3,
1,
4.
tying it up. There it is. We're tied up now, 4-4.
4, 4.
The momentum changes quickly here at the Cali Open.
Toe score now. Another ace from Cardona.
Wow, 2 aces in this
5, 4.
service right here.
Short serve.
Second serve.
Nice effort there from Cardona, but Bredenbeck's
4,
going to
5.
shut down that streak of points that Cardona had. Unfortunate error for Bredenbeck. Game 3
5,
goes pretty
4.
fast as we only played to 11. Every point counts.
Nice shot by Jake.
Fast moving ball out there.
4, 5.
All right, stuck here, a few
5,
side
4.
outs at 5 serving 4. Winner of this semifinal will continue on to the finals tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Time.
Oh. A lot of side outs in this game.
Jake really looking to keep the momentum moving quickly as he fires off his serves
Side
right
out.
away against Cardona, who's taking
5, 4.
control every time he steps back into the service box.
shot by Alex.
Point.
Pushing it out to the corners. It's going to be key against Bredenbeck.
6-4.
Another ace by Alex.
That's 3 in game 3 alone. Some wicked serving from Cardona.
7-4.
Nice timeout by Jake.
Yep, takes some time to collect himself here as Cardona takes his time out there. We'll be right back after this. And it's a pretty tense game 3 here at our semifinal match between Jake Bredenbeck and Alex Cardona. Cardona taking game 1 15-10, Bredenbeck answering back 15-12, and now we're here with Cardona taking the lead in game 3. Bredenbeck out there staying dry in a Gearbox Fit Performance shirt. Cardona also sponsored by Gearbox. For more products that either player are wearing, go to gearboxrb.com. Cardona now making a comeback here in game 3 after Bredenbeck leading for most of game 3. And let's see what happens. Like that strategic timeout worked for Bredenbeck.
Side out.
He got the side out.
Nice shot by Alex. Plays more
7-4.
smarter now.
Yeah, he seems really focused here in the second half of game 3. Remember, this game is to 11. Cardona leading.
Screen serve.
Second serve.
Nice shot by Jake.
Wow.
Four 7.
Oh, close. Really close. Jake's a little frustrated now.
Yeah, but
7-4.
it's stuck here at 7 serving 4. Jake looking to close the gap, but Cardona's back in control now. Seeing big returns here from Bredenbeck, but now we need him to do that on his service. There it is.
Smart
a
shot,
point
Jake.
for Bredenbeck, yeah.
5-7.
Two great points in a row for Bredenbeck. Nice placement. Playing smarter now.
6-7.
I think it's the first time that I saw Jake do a backhand serve not so normal in a tiebreak doing that, but it works for him. Ace serve.
Wow. An ace in game 3 for Jake. On that backhand
7-7.
drive serve.
Another point by Jake.
8-7.
I think that puts Jake in the lead now in game 3. This is just what he wanted. Looks like Cardona is going to see if he can break the momentum now, as we've been going back and forth here in game 3. We'll be right back. And we're back in game 3, where Jake Bredenbeck has reclaimed the lead. It is now 9 serving 7. Remember, this game is 2-11, so we're getting down to the last few points here. Anything can happen. We've seen Cardona step back into the service box and get several points in a row, but right now Bredenbeck has really found his rhythm, and let's see if he can close out game 3.
Another ace serve by Jake.
Wow. It's going to make it match point here.
Ooh, nice shot by Cardona.
That's going to keep Cardona alive in game 3. It's all going to come down to Cardona's mental focus right here.
Ace serve by Cardona.
Answering back with an ace, his 4th of game 3 alone.
8-10.
Within 2 points of tying it up. It is first to 11.
Ooh, another ace serve by Cardona.
2 aces in a row to answer back against
9-10.
Bredenbeck's aces. Some crazy serving here in the semifinals. What do you think? There's a 3rd ace coming?
I hope that yes. Whoa, it's now 10-10.
Crazy as it's tied up now, and Cardona with an opportunity here to close out the match. Crazy.
10-10.
It's just unpredictable what can happen out here. Wow. And
Nice
that
match.
means Cardona wins the match in a tiebreaker 11-10, coming from behind at the end of game 3. Just incredible. Nice to see that these two can hug it out. It's just an incredible match. Next up, we have Andre Padilla and Gerardo Franco, who will play the winner of this match here, which is Cardona, in the finals tomorrow at 1 p.m. I'm Laura McCormick with the WRT, and thank you, Jaime Martel, for joining me in
Thank
the
you.
semifinal.
Thanks you.
And don't go anywhere, folks. We got our next match coming up in 10 minutes, so grab some snacks and refresh your drinks. We'll be right back.